guys, and welcome to Xbox On. Now, we've been talking recently about some of the crazy stuff that you have to do in video games to unlock an achievement, like sometimes even having to die to get one.
Now, obviously, these were really hard for me to unlock because I never normally die.
Really? No, of course you don't. But here are some games where death is the answer to victory.
We'll start with one of my personal favourites because I'm a sadist. In Mortal Kombat, there's a move you can perform with the character Kotal Kahn that hurts him in order to increase his damage output for a short period of time. It's also key to our first achievement. You have to kill yourself during a match and then come back to win it. The move is called Blood Offering, and it sees Kahn whip out a blade and slice himself in the stomach. Ouch. The downside of using this move is that it saps 10% of your health. Now, ordinarily, that's a small price to pay for gaining harder attack power, like letting a bee sting you to enter a brief period of rage-fueled super strength. But when you've got a mere 10% of health left, that doesn't leave you much room to, live. In fact, use Blood Offering when you're this low on health and you automatically die. Luckily, matches in Mortal Kombat take place over several rounds, so you can just stand back up like you've woken up from a nap. To get the achievement, you actually have to win the overall match after dying by your own hand, so batter your opponent with the fury of someone who's so violent they'll actually hurt themselves to win.
This entry is unlike other games on this list for one reason. It's the only game where dying is expected. It's part of the fun. You don't have to go out of your way to earn the achievement for losing your life here. Actually, you'll probably do it with your eyes closed. The achievement in question is called This is Dark Souls, and all you do to earn it is die. Which, to be honest, is a pretty good welcome. Hey, Dark Souls is nothing if not honest. It's like if you went to the gym and there was a very tired and sweaty man on the door to greet you. Start as you mean to go on, I say, and since you've got plenty of dying in store, your first death needs to be commemorated. To earn this achievement, you can get walloped by an old knight, you can aggro an NPC, and turn a former friend into a foe. You can walk blindly off a cliff, you can walk blindly off a different cliff. There are so many ways to kick the bucket in Dark Souls 2 that it's actually harder not to earn the achievement in this game. To not earn it, you have to go on and complete a no-death run of the entire game. And no, there are no achievements for doing that, because it'd be pretty much impossible for 99% of people. Not like this achievement though. If you've got Dark Souls 2, you've got this achievement, and I respect you for it.
You can't talk about death-filled achievements without talking about N++. I'm thinking that N stands for no, because I die so much in this game. And the achievement list reflects this. There's an achievement for dying in the tutorial, there's an achievement for crunching your soft ninja head into the ceiling too hard, there's even an achievement for dying 5,000 times. I'm not even sure there have been that many deaths in real life. But the kicker is death from all of the above. An achievement for dying in every possible way in the game. If there's a trap, you've got to feed your ninja into it. Whether it's a giant laser beam, machine gun fire, missiles or mines. Most of these things are dangerous enough to wipe you out during the normal course of play, but there are still an awful lot of them to hunt down. You actually need to get through the very difficult levels to find all the obstacles. And hey, once you've made your way through the list, at least you'll be that bit closer to getting your 5,000 death target. Go you!
Time for a double whammy of death now. Prey rewards you for creative thinking right off the bat. The first achievement is called No Show, and it involves a ludicrous display of self-destruction. To get it, you have to jump into a helicopter's blades right at the start of the game. Like, why would you even think to do that? This helicopter has been sent to pick you up and fly you to work and give you a lovely view of the city. But instead of that, you choose to leap onto its whirly bits. If you're trying to boost your gamer score, well done. If you were just curious, yes, helicopter blades spinning at full blast can kill you. But that's not the only act of self-harm. Achievement number 2 is called Intrinsic Value, and it calls for recycling. A lot of recycling. And I'm not talking recycling any old rubbish like you do at home with your banana skins and your newspapers. I'm talking about recycling yourself, the best rubbish of all. To do this, you have to use a recycler charge, which sucks up all objects in range and spits out little cubes of matter that you can use to craft with. If this recycler charge is too close to you though, you'll be sucked into its vortex. It's a pretty selfless act really. Most people waste their bodies by climbing inside coffins when they die, but you chose the environmentally friendly route. Self-recycling is the future, people. Mark my words, when I die, plans are already in place to turn me into a controller.
Now time for the most explosive entry on this list. If you kill yourself in Tokyo 42, you'll earn an achievement called Whoops, which, funnily enough, is the noise you'll probably make when this achievement pops. Unless you were trying to earn the achievement, then you'll probably say, oh good, or maybe even just sit there in contented silence. Anyway, the death you have to get is a very specific kind of death, because you can't just die by jumping off a building or getting shot by cops. You have to die by getting caught up in the blast of your own grenades. The best way to do this is to fire them straight upwards, then stand still until they land again. You know what they say, what goes up must come down and explode. Don't worry though, because unlike all other entries on this list, death is not the end in Tokyo 42, as there is an invention in future Tokyo called nanomeds, so every time you die, you come back to life. Very convenient.
I'm sorry Lydia, but if you thought the Tokyo 42 entry was explosive, you need to get a good look at this one. Preferably while wearing some sort of protective goggles. Fallout 4's touchdown achievement pops up when you get killed by a nuclear explosion, and to give you an idea, that's like if 1 million people simultaneously jumped onto a load of bubble wrap. There are a few ways that you can trigger the achievement, and they all involve a fiery death. The easiest way is letting someone wielding a Fat Man nuke launcher kill you. There's one such dude at Skyline's Flight 1981 at the northeast corner of the map. But the more entertaining method is stumbling across a specific kind of super mutant called a mutant suicider. See, these mutant suiciders carry nukes under arm like American footballs. Do you get it? Because nuclear football is what we call the president's special briefcase that lets him authorize nuclear attacks on the go. This is a gag that works on multiple levels. And when you have a nuke spiked aggressively into your foot by an enraged super mutant quarterback, you'll occupy multiple levels too. By that I mean your body parts will be on the ground, the second floor, and potentially even the roof. It's pretty terrifying to be chased by a super mutant with a death wish, but it's even scarier to see just how badly Bethesda want you dead.
Here's one for all the materialists. Mega Coin Squad is a manic 2D platformer about racing to collect loads of gold pennies. You compete against others to soak up as many coins as possible in crazy shifting levels filled to the brim with coinage. You'd think that it would be pretty inevitable that you'd at least pick up a few coins, right? I mean, even if you tripped and fell over, your pockets would probably fill up. That's why earning the Die Broke achievement is so unlikely. To get it, you have to die without collecting a single coin. Come on, you really have to be trying not to collect them to come away with nothing. I refuse to accept anyone is that bad. Not even our producer Matt, whose poor skills and clumsiness amuses me every day. But that's fine, not every achievement has to acknowledge your great gaming skills. Some can celebrate the times you're absolutely rubbish.
After the bright arcade fun of Mega Coin Squad, Beholder is like being hit in the face with a bucket of cold water. In it, you live in an oppressive political state, working as an informer to the police. As the landlord of a block of flats, it's your job to spy on residents and steal incriminating evidence from their rooms. Get enough dirt and you can call in the coppers to give them a beating. It's like a really depressing version of The Sims. It's also quite hard to die. Everyone lives in fear of you, so you have to really annoy them before they get the courage to do you any harm. After spending several days waking people up in the middle of the night and breaking into their flats right in front of them, I finally managed to get one of them to attack me. A local fisherman offered some dodgy tin fish to sell for an incredible profit. By deliberately selling it cheap, you upset him, and then you just need to ignore his complaints to get him to pull a gun. It means your game ends on the ultimate downer. The game over screen informs you that your family soon died afterwards. But hey, at least you got that sweet 15 gamer score.
50 Cent. What a guy! Not only did he survive 9 bullets to various body parts, but the name of his hit album also gave the inspiration for this achievement title. He truly is a man of many talents. This achievement quite literally asks you to get rich or die trying. You can either earn 10,000 gold from renting out properties, or you can die once. Think about how unbalanced that is. Getting rich means saving enough money to own property and then lasting long enough to collect the rent. It's far more likely, not to mention easier, just to accept your fate and claim that 15 G's with a quick trip to the grave. As this video is all about dying horribly to get those extra chivos in, I'm not even going to pretend to be interested in becoming a property tycoon. Feel free to die however you see fit, just making sure you used up all your resurrection files so you're actually properly dead. And there we have it. You may not have been trying to get rich, but you definitely died trying to get this achievement. 50 Cent, this one was for you.
Finally, it's time for a cool little achievement in one of the Xbox One's best RPGs, Torment: Tides of Numenera. The terminal velocity achievement stands out as you have to kill yourself before the game has even begun. When the game opens up, you're in the midst of a freefall and given a couple of decisions to make. Do you look at the horizon, flatten out to catch the wind, and try to judge how far it is to the ground, or dive towards the ground? Well, if you don't want to live for much longer, it's the latter option. Again, you get an option to scout your surroundings or slow down by flattening out, but they're the safe options. It's much better to dive towards the ground even faster. After reaching terminal velocity, which is about 320 kilometers an hour, you slam into the ground and reach a pretty graphic end. You don't get to see it, but the narrator manages to make it sound pretty horrible. Listen.
This realization drives itself home as you strike an unyielding surface, as your skin explodes and your organs liquefy on impact.
I'm kind of happy there's no cutscene of this, as I've just eaten a whole pile of sandwiches and don't want that coming back up. The writing also says your life was completely meaningless, but that's not true. You earned an achievement worth 15 gamer score. So there we have it, loads of achievements where you have to die to get that precious gamer score. Make sure to let us know what your favorite is down in the comments below. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to never miss out on another video.
And make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time.
Bye.